Namaskar, everyone. Welcome to day 34. Kundalini Shakti that I've been speaking about is energy, the evolutionary energy of life. Energy. Energy. Shakti. What we know of energy in daily life is electricity, heat, light. Also mechanical energy as we move and generate heat. Chemical energy is the heat we get from the fire. These are gross forms of energy. Of course, electricity and light are finer forms of energy. The more gross ones are the chemical energy. Along the energy spectrum, you have finer and finer energies. So the mind is basically energy flow. The mind is able to create energy. The will through attention and willing, it can generate energies when the power is there to do it. Lack of power means that you cannot generate those energies. Those are finer energies. Those are subtle energies. Those are pranic energies, chi energy, ki energy. That's why we have these discoveries being made of the finer energies of life that we can't see, but we can experience. So we can experience prana in our being when we become aware, more energy aware. We can experience the ki, the chi. They're all the same. So gradually, as we move away from sense perceptions, the smelling and the tasting and the touching and the hearing and the seeing, when we move away from sense perceptions to extrasensory perception, we're able to perceive a different kind of energy. The energy of love, for example, the energy of a thought, for example, the energy of a space, the energy of the foods that we eat, the energy of people that we associate with, we begin to feel another kind of energy as our consciousness begins to open up and more perception comes. That finer energies speak of another world, a world of subtle energy. In fact, though we consider this world to be our reality, it is a more temporary reality, gross reality than the thought world. So when you carry thoughts, you actually carry an energy packet. When you carry a thought pattern, you are into an energy pattern that stays with you until you change it. You can re-engineer it. You can change the thought. You can change the pattern. Until you change it, it's a pattern that holds you, holds your ego, your individuality. Your ego is caught in a pattern, an energy pattern. That pattern can be a dark pattern, or that pattern can be a pattern of light. Dark meaning it's contracted, and it gives a lower experience, and light means it's expansive and gives a lighter experience. So as we become more energy aware, energy conscious, we're able to distinguish or discriminate these patterns inside of us and be able to see them as distinct to the gross patterns that we feel from the heat of the world and the other energies of the world, gross energies. So when Kundalini awakening happens within you, you get this kind of sensibility. Of being able to feel another kind of energy in the space. And that's why we see sometimes when we walk into a space, it's a heavy space, it feels dark. Like when I go to the funeral of someone who's been traumatized or an accident, or that soul is the distressed soul. So when I go into the space, I can actually feel the heaviness of the space. And as much as I can project a different kind of energy into the space, it still remains heavy. Sadness amongst people. So you can imagine the energy of the Ukrainian country. That must be terrible, suffering, the energy of suffering. Just walk into the space and you can pick it up. And for those of us who can actually tune into the space, we can pick it up. So the more evolved we are, the greater our sensitivity to this field. And we begin to feel uncomfortable with dark energies in our space. Tamasic energies, we call it. We begin to feel uncomfortable because we are growing more into our sattvic nature and our nature of light, our finer nature. And so too, as we grow, our senses become more refined because we move away from tamasic nature of senses, the dull, the ignorant, into more refined sensory experience, extrasensory experience. We prefer the more classical music, the more gentle music. But of course, when we cross the barrier of duality, we'll enjoy even the primal music because we will see it relates to a chakra that is a divine part of us. But until then, as we grow, we'll move away from tamasic, and we will only be able to appreciate tamasic when we become free of the gunas. Then we'll have a different kind of sensibility. For example, when I'm hearing the primal music, I can actually feel the vibrations in my lower area, but it doesn't disturb me unless my body is weaker and needs a more nourishing kind of energy. But it doesn't disturb me at all. I can enjoy the spectrum of sounds for what it is. If I go into an area where the energies are primal, I can appreciate it without getting involved. I can understand it. And I don't condemn it, nor do I want to have aversion to it, but I totally accept it as part of the divine play. So as we begin to grow in awareness, the energy of different chakras become more tangible, as it were, more perceptible in our consciousness. So when you come down, for example, when I'm chanting, I'm down to the root, like I'm doing now. My consciousness is down to my root. My legs are held firmly in an energy field. So I'm not just talking without that grounding in the gross center. But I'm loving it because it brings steadiness to my legs. It brings firmness to my posture. And it brings a strength, a physical strength to my voice. And I'm using this gross area in a very sattvic way. My mind is fully attentive to what I'm doing. There are no scattered thoughts in my mind. It's completely focused on what I'm doing. I'm holding from that root chakra, I'm holding every part of me. So the gesture that I'm holding here, it's firm from the root. I've already powered up the navel this morning, so the vitality is there. But once I go to the root, that holds me into this beautiful feeling, and I can hold that root and stay steady. In a root awareness that my mind completely embraces, in an expansive awareness, and I can stay there with a joy of rooting. I can go to my sacral and feel the energy of the sacral, and for me, it's the energy of vitality. So I can go to the sacral, and I can just transmute. Just with the attention and the prana, Pranapana, prana after breath. I can just move the energies with my mind and breath. And I'm revitalizing from sacral. It has no gross kind of implications there, no gross identities, just this beauty of the subtle energy of the sacral. So I have great respect for the sacral. It brings a kind of beautiful energy into my body that I know is healing, restoring. So this is what happens when you get into the sadhana and you learn to train your energies differently. My gut is firm. I have no need for an expansive gut at the moment because I'm taking energies from the lower area, bringing it into my posture, and I'm using the energy of my brow to focus my eyes, that my eyes can keep open, attentive, strong. It's not gross, it's subtle. And my heart is subliminal. So my heart is not just a gross heart. See, I'm not into smiling and being mellow. I'm firm because the heart energy is subliminal. It's beautiful. I'm focused. I'm transmitting. I'm holding the field in positivity. Holding my body in positivity. My sacral is giving me vitality. My root is giving me vitality. My navel is giving me a subliminal vitality, as well as my heart. And I'm serious, but totally sattvic. I don't need to smile, I don't need to laugh, but there's an inner smile. And there's the inner contentment, santosh, that Patanjali speaks about. And there's Ishwar Pranidhana. All my energies are devoted to what I'm focusing on. So there is no gross and subtle in terms of morality and discrimination. There is a oneness of the field. And there's a spectrum of energies that I can use with sattvic intent. But this can only happen as the brow center opened more and more. The only time I gained a little bit of control of this energy, and it grew, and I learned how to work with it in a sattvic way, is when the brow chakra began to open. How did I feel its openness? I began to feel first a little pull here, as though something is pulling. And when I began to focus on the pull, that's way back in the sadhana. When I began to focus on the pull, the most beautiful thing happened. I can feel as though I'm being pulled to a center of thought, center of mental focus. And when I stood there, it's a kind of energy, like what would make us numb. But that's a numbness that is about centering. I'm held in this beautiful brow energy, nothing to do with physical, energetic on the inside. And that keeps me firm in the posture. So the brow gives me the ability to stay firm and steady. And the brow gave me the communication ability to go to every chakra and have a mental association with it. And that is the practice that I grew in sadhana. When I began to feel that brow power, I became very interested in accompanying it, using it to go to every chakra and explore. And that was my excitement in sadhana. But I wasn't habituated to meditation then. I felt that I wanted to be more rajasic. So in my teaching, I'd explore bringing the energy of the heart. In my yoga practice, I'd love to just bring the energies into my body and channel it in my body. And I did a lot of seva then. Rajasic, because I just wanted movement. I wanted play. And ultimately, I learned how to settle down and nourish the body from it. And now I do that big time. I spend more time nourishing the body from that inner place. But unless you grab hold of this energy inside, unless you understand it, you'll be forever asking, is it Kundalini guiding me or is it my ego guiding me? When you begin to feel these chakras, there is no question that she is with you because you begin to feel that. There's an unmistakable heart energy, an unmistakable gut energy, an unmistakable sacral energy that you know it is in the light. It is in her. I look at you struggle and I pray for you. I'm wishing that you get into that center where you can begin to manage your energies. Otherwise, if you don't find that center of the brow, you cannot manage anything. You will think you are managing because you understand the theory. You might think that I put my mind here and that is the brow. No. When you can feel this pull inside, when you can feel this power inside that is not physical, and it can help you to control the rest of the chakras, and you feel your identity in the divine as you focus, then you know, without the shadow of a doubt, that Kundalini, this is Kundalini. And great respect comes in a very natural way. Letting go and surrendering becomes very natural because you can feel this power behind you, with you, and holding you in sattva. You don't have to fear rajas or tamas. It holds you in sattva. She grabs you, holds you, and carries you like a child, like a big bird carrying the little one. Until you can begin to feel that you are a big bird too. That you were never a small bird being carried. That you are actually a big bird dreaming that you are a little bird in her hold, in her claws. It's just so beautiful. Then you realize that even as you walk the gross world, speak in the gross world, touch the gross world, your identity is so much bigger. And then you will have great respect for thought because you will feel thought as an energy and you will be very uncomfortable with any kind of negative thought in your space. So sometimes when I can't entertain your negative stories, it is because I'm so filled with this energy of positivity that when your darkness comes in me, sometimes I have the tolerance to deal with it because of your sincerity. But most times I want to move away from it. And I want to surround you with light. And I don't want to speak too much because I don't want conversation around darkness. I want conversation around light. So this energy play is where we need to get to. And the most beautiful thing is that if you're ready and receptive and you come into my field, whether the field is virtual or whether the field is right here, in my physical field, you will experience that impact of energy. You may see me in a dream world, and you will experience that impact of energy. I may come into the dream world and give you a message. That's my non-local self, which is big. I don't feel at all limited by the body or limited by an ego. No. I feel beyond. But how do I explain that to you? My beyond feeling. I can feel my non-local self. It's water. That is what is me. That is what has given me individuality. But individuality is so transparent that there's only that inside. That's where you're going to go. That's what resonates inside of you. That is what is beckoning you to freedom. That call inside of your being, that call for going home, coming into comfort and freedom and joy, that is the call. That is why you have this attraction towards spirituality, because your center, your source is beckoning you. That's why you cannot stay restless. But you need to learn to manage the play. You need to learn to appreciate energies. You need to learn to not begin to judge and say this is that and this is that. No. When you don't know something, don't judge. Stay open until the experience comes. That's a real knowing, the experience. He who thinks he knows intellectually knows not. But he who knows that he knows not intellectually truly knows. But how can it be explained? It's like when Jesus was asked, Master, who are you? He'd say, who do you think I am? How can he explain who he is? Whom do you think I am? That's what I am to you. If you're a body, you see me as a body. If you're an intellectual, you see me as an intellectual. If you're an energy player, you will experience me as an energy player. Who do you think I am? Exactly what your ego is saying to you. So as your ego opens more, your consciousness opens more, you see the Guru differently. You see the world differently. I just wish I can support you in catching this. There is no way that you can catch this unless you don't get out of the way. With all your ideas and opinions and feelings. And be truly open to every energy in the space. So I leave you with that excitement today of what is possible. And don't fight with life. What you are destined, your play has been crafted. The play of your lifetime, it has been crafted between you and the evolved beings of the other space. Before you came into the body, that has been planned already. You might be ahead of it, or you might work it out, or you might abort the play and say, I want to go back. And you shorten your life prematurely by your bad habits. You go back to come back. But don't do that. Use the play. Use the play of life to grow in consciousness, to understand what I'm saying to you, to catch it. The Master said it. Those who have ears will listen. If you don't have the ear for it, how you will perceive it? You need to have the ear. You need to have the senses to pick it up. Those of you who are sincere and really want to experience this, you will. By no stretch of intellect can you go there, but intellect can help you to get there. But it cannot be a part of the experience. The experience is beyond the intellect. It will refine the intellect. It will bring the intellect into humility, of course, ego intellect. I've spoken enough. Now my meditation is going to be completely in the energy field. I've been holding the root. It's a natural thing for me to hold the root when I'm using the body, like I'm doing. So my meditation is going to be stay with the root until I can feed this body all the nourishing energies of the inner space. Although I slept, and it gave my body's restoration, but I want to energize the other parts of me that are in the play. I need to bring the prana to my eyes. I need to bring the prana to my brain. I need to nourish my heart plexus, my gut plexus more, that my body can be more prepared for the day. That's what I'll be doing in the inner space, happily and under the guidance of this evolutionary energy. I will work completely in her field. Just invoke all her plays on the inside. The play of prana, apana, and if the body wants to go into any kind of posture, I will allow it. But this is going to be 20 minutes of pure sattva, pure sweetness. Join me in this space. Let's come back into gross awareness, awareness of the body and the elements around you, the world around you. And gradually bring more oxygen into the body. Introduce more air into your lungs in the way that your body is happy. Deepen the gross breathing and then notice what happens to the body. And then you take the next step. That one is cleansing, Kapalbhati, which means skull cleansing, that when you do this, you'll feel much lighter in the body. A rapid removal of carbon dioxide from the lungs. But you need a carbon dioxide oxygen balance in the lungs. So I do this with a flex spine and energy awareness along the spine. And I use the belly breathing, heart breathing as my body wants it, as my system wants it, body and soul. I hold my body in gross awareness, managing my body as I do that. So my body feels strong as I do that, and not weak. My muscular system is used, my breathing, respiratory system is used, and my energy system is used, my spinal column is used. My awareness and intention are focused. And every part of me is served. Gross, vital, subtle. Everything is served. My brain feels better, my eyes feel clearer, my taste buds are more sensitive. My body feels better for this. I can do exercise now, physical exercise, or walk. It will feel very, very harmonious with the energies that I've built inside. So hopefully you've caught some of that. And let's do the Om sound, out through the mouth, in through the nose. Shh. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. So there you are, you have a little bit of my sadhana, what I've been doing every day, what I do every day. This is my survival tool for living in the world. And of course, as you know, I speak about an aging body, but my soul is ageless. But I have to give attention to the body. Every organ is a little more diminished in function, but I have to keep it optimally healthy, optimally healthy. My heart, my lungs, my kidneys, my spleen, my liver, my bones, I have to keep everything optimally healthy. My eyes. So I'm very mindful of that. And I'm very mindful of how my body feels. I no longer neglect it because I have so much energy and it's young. No. How my body feels every day when I wake up, when I go through the day, how the body feels is extremely important to me. This is what I have, my vehicle in this world. This is how I can speak to you, communicate with you on this plane. Of course, I don't need this plane to communicate with you at a deeper level. But for the gross level that you're comfortable with, I need this plane. You need to hear my voice, you need to see this body. You need to appreciate how I move energy in the body. From the moment I sat in this asana or seat, it has been energy play only with you. Only energy play with every chakra. So as you go out into the world, we don't expect you to be masterful. But I, and the other invisible masters in the space, we expect you to observe the level at which you are operating. And don't fool yourself, as we say, that you want to think that you're operating in the crown when you're operating in the body. Because you have more elevated thinking. You think more lofty thoughts, and so you feel you're there. No, you don't need to be there. Why you want to go there now? Stay where you are. It's a perfect game. So look to see where your consciousness is centered. If it's in the body, Kundalini will visit you by empowering your body. So don't feel that's too gross. She comes there, she strengthens your body. She teaches you how to keep your body healthy. She changes the way you eat. She changes the taste buds. She treats with your sexuality. She treats with your vitality. And that's what you will feel when you are in this space. That's fine. Work with her in the inner space. Don't try to go too far, because this will be unattended and this is where you are. So if you find yourself enjoying gross activities, she will come there and she will support you. Don't create any morality behind gross and subtle. She's in all. Don't feel guilty that you have eaten something that you think you shouldn't eat. No. Just be mindful and careful. Look and see what it does to your sadhana, what it does to your mind. Be mindful and change it based on that. Not on guilt and morality. Oh, I didn't do this, I shouldn't do this, I'm doing this. No. Don't go there. Do it based on what is happening. If nothing happens, then you're fine. Because some of us can eat anything and we're totally fine. Some of us, we are very sensitive to things. We eat a little bit and some allergy comes up. No, don't judge. And don't take somebody else's medicines and prescription as yours. No. You're differently made. Or you function differently based on life experiences of past life and this life. So if you're more emotional and you focus and you become more emotionally identified when you're in the world, don't be ashamed of it. Emotions are beautiful when they're refined. So learn how to work with them. She will come into the space and she'll bring the finer emotions to you. Just look for her behind your emotion. Look for her behind all your emotional exchanges in the world. And she'll guide you there. She'll make it better for you. So don't think that you should be in your mind somewhere. When you need to be in the emotional field, and life beckons you there because it puts all kind of things around you to work with emotion. No. When you're emotionally challenged in the space, good opportunity for practice. Bring out every tool in the toolbox, or learn new tools. Get new tools. They're all available to you. That's when she comes in there. And if you're mentally disposed, she'll come in your thoughts. She'll bring more creativity in the mind. She'll bring more joy in your investigation and curiosity. And she'll open your mind. Look for her there. And if you're like me everywhere, then you will look for her everywhere. What is she doing into this? What is she bringing to my physical field? What is she bringing to my emotional field? What is she bringing to my vital field? What is she bringing to my mental field? I love every string of this guitar, this energy guitar. I love everything under the sun. Every sport. Every intellectual play. Every emotional play. I'm just in love with life. I've never been able to compartmentalize. Because even as a young person, when we are sort of channeled into specialization in the studies, I felt bad to give up history and give up some of the arts simply because I'm doing better in science. Well, no, well, I did well in the others too. But I had this particular passion for logic and science and experimentation and exploration. So I used to give more attention to that. But I love the history and I love the politics and I love all the other things, the economics. But I can't. In those days, you were just given certain amount of subjects to study. Today, we have more subjects in the curriculum. But despite that, I had a deep appreciation for every field of study. And I have a deep appreciation for studying life as you see. So I look at the news, I look at the politics, I look at the economics, I looked at the social consciousness of the world, I look at the exchanges, I look at the leadership principle, I look at the biological implications that we have with nature and climate and all that. Everything becomes hugely interesting for me. And I want to know, how can I participate in creating a better world? This center is part of that. And our eco-estate is a part of that. My joy is in creating these centers of light, co-creating rather, because I'm doing it together with those of you who are with me. So this is day 34. So when you enter the world, look at where she is supporting you, or look at everywhere she is supporting, and build that relationship with your world through her. When you go out into the world, look for her. She can come out. She can come through the events to you, or she can come within, or she will come in both. Be very watchful, very mindful, very discerning, and you will see a marvelous play at work. You will never need to worry or need to trust or have faith in. She'll be there. We need to have faith in and pray when we don't feel it. But the moment we feel it, who are you going to pray to when she's right behind you? When she's in your field, bringing everything for you, what are you going to pray for when everything is coming to you as needed? What are you going to pray for? What am I going to pray for when I see how she unfolds every day for me? What am I going to pray for? All the things that I seem to want, they are in her. Because when I want it, it's for the benefit of the world. So they're in her. They're in her. So she does everything. Now you can understand the words of the Christ. I enjoy quoting him simply because from my childhood days, he was this legendary figure for me. He said, seek ye first the kingdom of God and its righteousness. He says his, but it's a his and a her. And all these things will be added unto you. Look at the lilies of the field. It says, they toil not nor do they spin. Yet Solomon in all of his glory cannot match them. How the divine takes care of everything with perfection. The birds and how, once we don't interfere with the ecosystem, the birds will always have food. The reason why we can't have food is because we have interfered so much with the ecosystem and we don't have the social consciousness of an advanced society. We make war to achieve peace. We make war to achieve peace. Oh my God. How contradictory. Now, we should never have a warring consciousness. If we really understand the words of the Christ, love your neighbor as you love yourself. That commandment should stay with us. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. Your neighbor is the ecosystem. Your neighbor is every living thing. Your neighbor is every fellow human being. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. Appreciate your neighbor as you appreciate yourself. Because there is no other but yourself. There is no other. It is yourself in every other form. There is no other. That same consciousness within you is the same consciousness manifesting in the other. And when you become more aware of that consciousness within you, then you realize that everything around you is that. You don't need moral guidelines then, because you naturally reciprocate with that consciousness. So have a happy day 34, everyone. Let's appreciate life in all of its supply. Namaskar.